Now, today, Circle, it's like the second year, the fourth season that we are presenting this collection. We started with thinking about something that has some values inside, like eco-sustainability, made in Italy, craftsmanship. And I think now the brand is ready also to make a step forward. And we thought to give also a content of style to this collection in order to attract a new consumer, in order to attract a new demography. And that's why we thought to have a collaboration with you, because we like your vision, we like your way to do things. We know that you have the culture of the tailoring, and that's why we started this conversation. And this spring-summer 23, we are ready to present something with you.
When you guys called me, obviously the concept behind sustainability, it felt very current. And you're doing it in a very authentic way with a lot of integrity. It's not a lot of greenwashing. You know, you've approached it in a very serious manner, which for me is very important to be doing something authentic. I think in this moment in time, there's a lot of greenwashing. So to see something actioned deeply with a lot of, mindset on how to do things properly. And sustainability isn't just about how things are made, it's also about creating things with longevity.
Yeah.
A style that can be timeless, a style that can be worn, around the globe, around the time, and even passed down, things that are crafted to last. For me, felt very timely, especially post-pandemic, where we've all been home, sort of, focusing on our own lives, immersed in our own consumption, because you've been 2 years at home and you realize how much stuff you have,
yes.
Especially clothing, yet no occasion to wear them. So the idea of concentrating on something, pure and sustainable was very attractive. And I think, in terms of repositioning Circle, I think it's a very, current argument, and I think it's the right time for me to join the company.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea that it was a capsule, it was something which was, reduced, also edited, something which was also disciplined. So, all those things tick boxes for me, which is why it felt right for me to join in this project.
Corneliani always embodied some values, and these values are today with this collection very clear, even if it's a different project, it's something more modern, it's something more up to date for the men of today. It's something that for us is new, but at the same time, it's very near to what we are and our DNA and our tradition, our history. So, Paul, I was thinking, since we know each other since many years, and we worked together also in the past, and you had a lot of experience in the fast luxury fashion, let's say. What did you decide to go back to a brand like Corneliani?
Well, I think, having done, like, say, high sort of fast fashion, I call it fast fashion, but it's fast luxury because you're working on multiple collections, multiple trends, brands that are sort of, competing to stay in at the top. And that can comprise men's, women's, children's, lifestyle, home, multiple collections, multiple brands within the same company structure. I think I grew up in menswear. My first job was in menswear. Most designers have their thing that turns them on, right? So the thing that turns me on is to work closely with the people who make the clothing. So working with modelistas or pattern makers, working with, the sartorial experts, people that make the clothing. The fact that also, for me, one of the deciding factors was to just return to do something authentic, return to do something where the lifestyle of the product is clear, and you're not just adding a logo to a sweatshirt to hopefully sell. When you're just working in a brand where it's just literally logo placement, it's quite sad, even if it's the top level. I enjoy working next to the experts and just being close to the craft. I think that's also, as I've matured, it just felt right for me to come back to do something like this because I get a lot of reward in that. I think in menswear, we all know that it starts from the shoulder. So you can't do menswear and not do tailoring.
Yeah.
I love tailoring. Most people, if I'm in the press, they say, oh, Paul's a tailor, which I find kind of strange because I've never tailored anything myself to the deepest level that you would have your experts. But, it's something I feel very strongly about, something that also I enjoy working on, tailoring and updating the tailoring.
I mean, we developed inside the Circle capsule collection with you, we developed a new kind of formal, an idea, and a new concept also. Yeah. And which I think, in your vision, interprets the future of tailoring. So what do you think about that? What is the future of tailoring? How people will...
I mean, tailoring is always there. It's an archetype in the men's wardrobe. You either wear it or you don't wear it, but it never goes away. There are moments when tailoring becomes more trend, which is now, because we're coming out of, probably 5 or 6 years dominated by urban sportswear, even luxury sportswear. Yeah. 2 years of pandemic where we've been at home in, let's say, premium leisure attire. Some people never got out of their sweats. Some people never got out of their pajamas. True. But some people also dressed up because they felt a need to. But I think now, what does a suit mean? The immediate trend is not to invest in corporate suiting. People are not ready post-pandemic to go out and buy, the immaculate grey tonic suit to go and sit in an office 8 hours a day. They're just not. So how can we do tailoring which then gives a sense of ease or a sense of downtime where you're wearing tailoring but you don't feel like you're a corporate junkie, in an office. And I think the investment now comes from premium leisure outlet, lifestyle acquisitions where people want to, especially men, they want to invest in something which is maybe for an event, maybe something that they can wear, numerous occasions, that it doesn't just say, oh, it's a grey or a navy wear to work suit. It can be a suit you wear for an event, it can be a social gathering, or it could just be an investment suit. I mean, what we did specifically when we started was, obviously with the tailors in Mantova, was to understand how the suit is made. I mean, obviously how it's made.
No, it's true.
But also the arranging the pattern in a way where it's adapting to the new lifestyle. I told you before, we're all driving, we're all gaming, we're all telephone. So our whole posture has been rotated. Our arms are 90% of the day in front. So the jacket and the tailoring has also been adapted to that. So we rotated the whole jacket forward, and so the back is longer, and the front is shorter, and the arms are rotated. It's adapting to the new lifestyle.
So you mentioned...
It might not be perceivable, but you feel it in the difference. And for me, that's what luxury is. You feel the difference. Maybe you don't see the difference immediately, but when you try it on, you feel the difference. And that's a quiet move ahead for a brand like Corneliani, where I think it's a connoisseur who's looking for something special, and that you can actually, explain how things have been made, and people care about that.
Right.
Yeah.
You also mentioned, I think, an important word before. You said archetypes. Archetypes is another important word for this collection, I think, because as we started thinking, you started thinking about all the essentials for a men's wardrobe to do this total look capsule collection. So maybe we can go a bit deeper into these archetypes. What are the archetypes that are essential for a men's wardrobe?
Well, I think, first of all, it's capsule 1. So this is the first capsule. For me, as a designer and also as a guest within the Corneliani structure, you don't come in and impose your, vision without flexibility. I think today, a brand, when they collaborate with a designer, the designer has to work into the brand rather than forcing their vision on the brand. And I think in this case, we were compatible.
Yes.
I think it stems from being, being locked up or locked in, the whole year of 2 years in the house, you see, wow, actually, what do I need? I have all this clothing, I have all this product around me, of which is some of it's very beautiful and expensive, but, what do I need now? So the idea of just reducing a wardrobe down to, if I have to get everything into a wardrobe, into a suitcase, like what do I actually need to live and live well? That's what I thought about. But also the idea that, when you're starting something and you're laying down the foundations and you're building blocks of a wardrobe, it comes down to sort of the archetypes: jacket, blazer, one suit, raincoat, car coat, polo shirt, short sleeve shirt, maybe a jean, crew neck, V-neck, they just fall into the archetypes. And for me, that just felt a very simplistic way to layer in a new aesthetic and for me to work on new volumes and shapes and to make it more understandable for the existing customer who we want to rejuvenate, but also, to be more current, to attract a younger generation or demographic. For me, the style, as you know, I've talked about age fluidity. When I say younger, it doesn't necessarily mean, age. For me, age is a number. I consider myself very agile and fast to move, modern thinker, creative thinker. Sometimes I'm too fast, sometimes I'm too ahead, and I look around and go, where is everyone? But, it's the idea that, when we talk about archetypes, it's a language that people understand. If you're talking about oversized blazer, you start to alienate certain customers or certain mindsets.
Yes.
So it was really in the beginning just to simplify it and make sure that whoever we're speaking to, past, present, and future, they can get on board and it can be simplified so that everyone is more demographic.
Yeah. What is luxury today? What means luxury today? What means luxury today? And there you had also a very clear idea of what luxury means today.
I think, looking at the way social media has just basically, hostaged everyone and you become so engulfed in other people's style and life and then keeping up and, competing almost. And although everyone tends to sort of claim themselves as individual, we all end up amalgamating into the same thing, right?
Yes.
So, with the birth of social media and with the birth of reality TV and with the birth of, a lot of just a social movement, I think good taste is the new luxury. Taste is one thing. Good style, you either have it or you don't have it. It's elegance.
Exactly.
You either have it or you don't. You can learn it. You can learn elegance because it's a formula, but good style and good taste, it's not for everyone. And even in the largest amount of money doesn't mean that you can always, portray good taste. So I think luxury for me, the new luxury is good taste and impeccable style. And that was something that, I'm a 90s kid. I grew up in the 90s. I'm a designer that graduated 97. Yes, I'm that old. And it was, a time where we were embracing the millennium. We then went into post-millennium. We had the modernity, the kind of synthetic fabrics. It was about streamlining, almost clinical, robotic style. And then after the millennium, we needed something nostalgic. We needed something familiar. So we all went sort of romantic and boho. And then after that, it was like, we need event dressing. So we went cocktail and events. And then it was just, after that, it's just been, urban sportswear or in certain women's wear, it's just very good taste, modern luxury. So I think for me, the idea of growing up in the 90s always gave me this idea of aspiration. The reason why I went into fashion, because it was just so aspirational. And luxury used to be aspirational. And I think that luxury in general has lost its aspiration. And it's not about being elite or about being exclusive, but I think it's about, just redefining what elegance is or making elegance and good taste in a slightly younger key. And I see already that that's the trend. Everyone's coming out of their sportswear, going into tailoring. We've seen it. It's coming back in a big time. And I'm happy to see that. And I think for that moment, for this moment, I think this is the right time that we collaborate, because I think we're right on trend with what we've been working on. And I think, the idea that good taste is the new luxury.
Yeah, yeah, and this is something that we totally agree on. And elegance is one of the value of Corneliani, very strong.
Yeah.
And so I'm very happy to have this collaboration with you. And
Yeah, no, it's
about
been
the results,
it's been enjoyable. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't know a lot about sustainability before starting.
I know, yeah,
I mean,
I remember.
you know, if you're passionate about it, you know, I'm a responsible consumer. I don't do anything that I shouldn't. I recycle.
Yeah.
I cycle everywhere. I don't get public transport unless I have to. I don't have a private jet. You know, I don't have a helicopter. So I live quite a normal lifestyle. But I've learned a lot also in this process, and I think it's very important for any designer to learn. You know,
Yeah,
get to a certain point in your creative career where you start to maintain something rather than create. So, you know, the market is always moving. Fashion is one of the fastest forms of creativity because the needle moves quickly. But it's been an opportunity also for me to learn a little bit more about sustainability,
Yes.
and then go back to do something which I feel strongly and love, which is beautiful tailored
Tailoring.
clothing. Yeah.
Okay.